So this is a remake of a movie that came out 9 years ago. Okay, you'll have fourth graders watching this and reminiscing about seeing the original film way back in the day when they were in preschool. New York Times headline, 25 movies, many stars, 0 hits. Hollywood falls to new lows. And the article says, some were heavily marketed, many were championed by critics, most had star power, but not one of the 25 dramas and comedies that movie companies released in North American theaters over the past 3 months has become a hit. Certainly not in the way that Hollywood has historically kept score. Some have played to near-empty auditoriums, including After the Hunt starring Julia Roberts, Christie with Sydney Sweeney, and Die My Love featuring Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. To succeed in theaters today, dramas and comedies must have event status, something truly elevated and special, said Kevin Getz, an author of the new book, How to Score in Hollywood, which looks at film bankability. And then goes on. While success at the box office is always correlated to how much it costs to make a film, Hollywood has historically used $50 million in ticket sales over an entire run as a benchmark for a widely seen drama or comedy. By that measure, After the Hunt is a catastrophe. It cost an estimated $70 million to make and collected $3.3 million. And then there's this Jennifer Lopez one that cost $30 million and brought in $1.6 million in ticket sales over a month, which is very low. So Hollywood films are flopping all over the place, and it feels like you've heard this story before because you have. This is a trend that's been noticeable for years, but it seems to be worse now than ever. Is this the beginning of the end for Hollywood? Is this the end of the end? Is it not just the beginning? Is it actually the end? Kind of seems like it. And I will say that I differ from, I think, a lot of conservatives on this, in that that's not something that I celebrate necessarily. I know a lot of conservatives are happy when they see articles like this. Hollywood is falling. They're happy about it. I understand why. I share the sentiment at some level. Okay, so it's like I get it, but I can't really see it as a win because I think what comes after it will be a lot worse. That's the problem. I think what comes after, once the movie business is finished, the movie business as we have known it, for the past 80 or 90 years or whatever, once that's over, and I think it basically is, I mean, it almost is. Whether or not that's a good thing really depends on, okay, well, what replaces it? What comes after it? And I think that what comes after Hollywood, what comes after the entertainment industry, is not anything better. It's really just an endless stream of content on your phone. I mean, that's what actually has replaced the movie business. Your phone, random videos and content on your phone. As we've talked about, the atomized, fractured culture instead of the monoculture. So that's what comes next. And all the endless pages, all of the proverbial ink being spilled over this question of what happened to Hollywood? Why is it falling? Why is it failing? It's really this. It's not it's not the quality of the film mainly. It's not wokeness. Right? That is part of the problem. I mean, that hasn't helped, but it's not really that. It's actually just the phone, right? It's like, it's the box that we all carry around and we're just looking at it all day. Like, that's really why. And I would take Hollywood over the endless scroll. I would take the movie business over just the people sitting there doing this all day on their phones, just staring at nothing. Okay, I would take. I don't think that that's better. I really don't. I think it's better to watch a bunch of mindless Hollywood popcorn flicks than spend all day just drooling while you stare at whatever the algorithm feeds you. So that's one thing. And like I said, we've talked about the death of monoculture. Everything is consumed by phones and algorithms, and that's what's happening. And any analysis of this that overlooks that point is overlooking the point. I will say, though, there's one other factor. It's not the biggest, but not the smallest either. And if we're talking about the box office specifically, if we're talking about theaters, there is one other thing killing the box office, killing movie theaters, and that is the quality of the experience. And I don't even just mean the films. I mean the actual experience of the theater itself has declined dramatically. I mean, anecdotally, I have the same anecdotal experience that a lot of people do, which is I don't go to movies nearly as much these days as I used to. Part of that is because there's not as many movies I'm interested in. Part of that is because I'm older now and I got a million kids and everything going on. But also, you know, on the rare occasion when we go, sometimes you go and the experience is just ruined. It's like it's a miserable experience, and you're thinking like I should have just watched this at home. Just wait 3 weeks, and it'll be out on Netflix or something. I'll watch it there. 1776 was not the beginning. It was the breaking point. The American Revolution was born from 150 years of colonial experience, tensions, and transformation. Want to understand what really led to independence? Hillsdale College offers a free miniseries on colonial America that tells the full story. Hillsdale College has created a fascinating 6-part documentary series where their professors explore their religious, political, cultural, and economic ideas that shaped America's unique character during the colonial period. You'll discover why the idea of liberty, especially religious liberty, drove settlers to risk everything crossing the Atlantic, how early Americans built local governments to rule and protect themselves, and why America became a place where virtue could lead to peace and prosperity. While most of us know the Declaration of Independence as the birth of our nation, this course digs deeper into something even more fundamental, the forging of the American character that made the revolution possible in the first place, and why reclaiming that character matters more than ever today. Best of all, this miniseries is completely free and easy to access. And if you're interested in learning more, Hillsdale offers over 40 other free online courses on everything from C.S. Lewis and the Book of Genesis to the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, plus in-depth courses on the American founding and Constitution, all at no cost. Right now, go to hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll. That's no cost, and it's easy to get started. There's hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll for free. Hillsdale.edu/Walsh. The experience has declined in the same way that the experience of flying on a plane has declined, going out to eat. It's the same thing that killed malls. You know, everyone says the internet killed shopping malls, but that's not entirely true. That was part of it, but what malls were already on the way out because the experience of going to them was not, it was just not a fun experience anymore. I mean, again, I have the same anecdotal experience a lot of people do. I remember growing up, we had a mall we used to go to, and it was a family friendly. You know, you'd go and you eat lunch there, and you go to the arcade, and you check out some of the shops and stuff. And it was kind of you'd hang out there for like hours. It was a thing people did back in the early '90s and before that. And then in this case, they built a metro stop. They built a subway stop right next to the mall. And next thing you know, the mall is now, shall we say, urbanized. And now there was this family-friendly mall, and now there's drugs, and there's shootings in the parking lot. And it's just not a place you want to bring your kids anymore. And it was just destroyed. There's this nice thing that people like to go and do, and it was fun for the community, and it was just ruined. It was just ruined. And so many things like that. So I think it's a similar sort of scenario. On top of that, social etiquette in general has declined. Everyone is afraid to enforce the rules. You know, audiences are obnoxious and loud and rude. And the funny thing is that everyone says that ticket prices are too high and that's what's killing the movie theaters. And yeah, at some level, I get that. It is way too much. But you could also argue that the way to save the movie theaters is to go the other way now, to make movies even more expensive. Like, get to a price point where the only people who will buy the tickets are the ones who actually want to sit down quietly and watch the damn movie. Raise ticket prices another 100%, and it'll be way too expensive. It already is. But at least then you can be pretty sure that, okay, like no one is going to buy this ticket and then sit down and be on their phone. No one is going to go in there with a whole group and be loud, obnoxious. But I'll tell you what the problem isn't, as I've already referenced. The problem is not the quality of the films. And I know that that's the standard conservative response. Well, they just don't make movies like they used to. And I agree with that. I mean, I'm the one who's talked about how the movie industry peaked in 20 years ago, and I believe that that's true. So I don't think that the quality, I think that the quality has declined, but I don't think that's the reason. Because, and this is like the uncomfortable truth that it kind of lets us off the hook as an audience if we can say, oh yeah, well, we just demand better quality content, right? Well, but we really don't. And here's my proof. So I saw this yesterday. That this is the teaser, and we're not going to play the whole, but it's like just 10 seconds. So the teaser for the live action adaptation of Moana just came out yesterday, I guess, and people are very excited, I suppose. Here's a few seconds of it.
I am a girl who loves my island, and the girl who loves the sea. It calls me.
Okay, so that's already, whatever. Okay, fine. So so a few things about this live action adaptation of Moana. First of all, it's not live action. Almost the whole thing is animated. Almost the whole thing is CGI. There are like 2 human characters, and you can already tell if you watch the preview. It's like, but you can tell that maybe 2 human characters. The rest is CGI, and everything. Now, I mean, that's how they make even the water and the trees. Okay, if you see a shot of they're standing on a hilltop and there's grass, even that is CGI. They're going to CGI a hill with grass. They're going to CGI everything. So it's a live action adaptation, but it's not live action. It's actually basically a cartoon. So this is a remake of a movie that came out 9 years ago. They're remaking a movie that I took my 12-year-old daughter to see when she was 3 in theaters. So this is very, very recent. It is so recent that there are kids who will have seen both the original and the remake in theaters before they graduate elementary school. Okay, you'll have 4th graders watching this and reminiscing about seeing the original film way back in the day when they were in preschool. They'll lean over to their younger friend in the theater and say, I remember many moons ago sitting in that exact seat watching the original film all those years ago. I think it was Humphrey Bogart was Maui, I believe. So it's very recent is my point. And they just put out like a sequel last year. This is a remake of a 9-year-old movie, which has never been done before, as far as I know. A remake that quick. This is a shot-for-shot remake of an animated film that just came out. And the remake itself is also mostly animated. So this is the least inventive, least creative, most uninspired thing Hollywood has ever done. And it will make $90 billion at the box office. And we all know it, okay? It will earn more than like the GDP of Nigeria at the box office. On the first day, it'll be a smash hit. I wish I could say that, it's going to flop. It's not. I mean, it's going to be huge. So we all say that the box office is failing because Hollywood puts out low-effort slop. And yet, the low-effort slop is the only thing that anyone will go see. The low-effort slop earns billions of dollars. Actually, the movies that are flopping, for the most part, are original films. Everyone says, Hollywood doesn't make original films. Well, they actually still do. It's just that no one sees them. Nobody will go watch those movies. No one will go see the movie unless it's a sequel, remake, right? A franchise thing. And that's just, that's the truth of it. So, a lot of blame to go around on this thing, is I guess what I would say. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.